What's up, everyone? Rich from Rich TCG Bets here. Hopefully, you all are having a great day. We are just over a week away from the pre-release of Whispers in the Well, and I wanted to go over every enchanted now that we have them all available in like a good image, not just like a crappy screenshot. And so I wanted to go over just every enchanted in the two iconics and rate them in my opinion. I want to caveat that I do not play the game, so there could be a card that's really playable that I put as number 18 enchanted. I'm just going off what I like, and I know there's gonna be a lot of biases in there. I put the list together and I was like, ooh, I bet some people are gonna be mad, but these are just my favorite enchanteds from the set. And like I said, it gives you a way to see all of the enchanteds in the set in like one clean video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, at number 18, we have the Sword of Hercules. I usually don't like the item cards. I think they're some of the worst enchanted as far as like art wise goes in the game. Usually, these two enchanteds look pretty good. So you have the Sword of Hercules and the Black Cauldron. When I think of Hercules, like that's not what I think of. So that's kind of why it's like the worst to me. And the Black Cauldron kind of fits the spooky feel of Whispers in the Wells. And so you're gonna see with a lot of these cards, there's kind of like a dark element going on with it, kind of like Ursula's Return, but I think they did a lot better this time around. But you're gonna see kind of like a spooky, dark, maybe kind of like a Halloweeny sort of feel to a lot of these cards. But that's what we see with the Cauldron as well. And again, like it's just a cauldron. The other one's just a sword. Nothing great. At number 16, we have Goliath, and I think this is from Gargoyles. Yeah, I believe it's from Gargoyles, Goliath and Demona. I never watched the show. Like to me, this isn't Disney. I know it is, but like it's not Disney because I never watched it. And so like these cards have zero effect on me. Like they look spooky, kind of cool, I guess, but they just don't hit it. Like to me, I'm like, that's not Lorcana, that's not Disney, but again, that's my opinion. I know a lot of people like Gargoyles. When it was announced that it was going to be in the set, a lot of people were excited. I believe Demona is actually on one of the pack arts. I could be wrong, but so it's definitely appealing to some people, but definitely not myself. At number 14, we have Lady Tremaine, which I feel like she's just been in like every set. I know that's incorrect, but I know for sure we have a previous Enchanted. Like, I'm just kind of tired of seeing her. Cinderella's great, love the movie, but I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. At number 13, we have Webby Wander Quack, I believe from DuckTales. Again, I never watched DuckTales. I know the song is pretty jamming, and I love the song, but yeah, again, to me, I'm like, oh, is that like Donald's niece? I know it's not, but yeah, nothing too great with the art. Like again, you can see with all four of these, they kind of got a little bit of a spooky look with the trees and the stuff in the background, but I'm gonna have her at number 13 for me. Number 12, the Horn King. So this is from the Black Cauldron. Never saw that movie either. I know absolutely nothing about it. To me, that looks like the, what is it, the skeleton guy that like that runs, that has like that meme maybe with Batman. I can't even remember, but
I can remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
that's what it looks like. But I do think the art is actually really cool, which is why I put it up a lot higher than the other ones. I think the art on this looks incredible. The colors look great. The Horn King himself like pops out really well. I think the artwork's really great. So I put him ahead of the other Gargoyles, even though I rate it just as low, just because I have no clue what the movie is. At number 11, we have Nick Wilde. Nothing too special here. Zootopia is coming out, so obviously they're going to have some Zootopia themed cards. We have the Zootopia promo that's going to be coming out. If you go to any Cinemark movies, you can go and get the promo. I think just like in that opening week, like around Thanksgiving. I want to say it's Thanksgiving week. I could be incorrect, but I want to say it's the 26th to the 30th of November. If you go to a Cinemark, you should get a promo when you see that movie. But again, naturally, they're going to have the Enchanteds for Zootopia, but I'm a big fan of Nick Wilde. I like the movie. At number 10, we have, at number 10, we have Malicious, Mean, and Scary. Love Tangled. I've talked about this in previous videos. One of my favorite Disney princesses, one of my favorite movies. I just think they could have done a lot better with the artwork. Like at this point, the guy with the hook is playing the piano, and you can barely see that he's playing the piano. You can see the notes on the top that he's singing, but I would have loved a better visualization of this scene than what we got. That's my only like fault with it. At number 9, we have Judy Hopps. Again, Judy's better than Nick. I think most people can say that. I love Judy Hopps. Again, Zootopia 2 is coming out, so they needed to make an Enchanted. Nothing more to say. I just like this card better than the Nick. At number 8, we have Baloo. I think he's pretty like he doesn't pop like every other character before and after will. Like he just doesn't really pop. He kind of blends in. He kind of looks very ghostly, which I guess kind of fits to the theme of Whispers in the Wells, but at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't hit for me. I do love Baloo. I think something a little bit more in his elements of what we like saw in the movie might have been a little bit better in my opinion, but that's just me. That's why I have him at number 8. At number 7, this is to me like when I had to actually like start thinking about like, okay, these are some pretty good enchanteds. Where do I rank them? And I rank this at 7 just because like it's just a headless horseman. I think the art looks amazing. The pumpkin just glowing looks really cool. But at the end of the day, it's like not an IP or character that I care about enough, but the artwork is amazing, and so that's why it's kind of carried it all the way to number 7 in my book. At number 6, we have Goofy. Everyone loves Goofy. Everyone loves that Mickey and Friends IP. I think this is a really good visualization of Goofy. Like he sticks out really well. I think the coloring is really good, and it's cool to see him in kind of like this yellowish color. I think it looks really good on him, but he's about to set on a trap, even though he has his magnifying glass to kind of look and investigate around him. I think it just encapsulates Goofy really well. At number 5, I love Lion King. That's probably one of my favorite Disney franchises. But when do we ever get Simba flying in the sky with yellow or swimming with yellow? Like to me, this is very out of character for Simba. Like I get that they're trying to fit the theme of Whispers in the Well, and so there's I think like the whispers around him, and they're having that glow. You can see similar on Hercules. Spoiler alert, that's number 3 if you aren't already looking. But it's just not. It's a visually appealing Simba, but it seems very out of character, out of fit. Like that, it doesn't seem like that should be a Simba card. So that's the only reason why I have him below as a 5. If I were to pull this card, I'd be ecstatic. I think it's still a really good card. Like I said, any of the top 7 for me, if I pull, I would be very happy. But I just wish it was like maybe where they sing a Hakuna Matata, like with the waterfall and the moon in the background. Like I wish that was in the background a little bit more. Then I would have this probably in the top 3 easily. At number 4, Can't Hold It Back Anymore. That rhymed. But we have another Elsa card. It's going to be interesting to see. We have the like Elsa tax is real. Anytime Elsa is on an enchanted card, it skyrockets the price. There really isn't nothing too much with this card, although it's from an iconic movie. It's one of the best I would say characters in Lorcana and probably in like Disney history as far as like Elsa. Everyone loves Elsa. All the kids love Elsa. And I do love the colors. I think they did a good job with the artwork, but probably my least favorite of the Elsas that have come out. So we have the one in Reign of Jafar and obviously the one in the first chapter. At number 3, like this hits it for me. Next Stop Olympus, Hercules with his glow, with his godly glow, like that looks amazing. And like you bring in the Whispers in the Well theming of these like trees, this spiked trees as far as like evil, and he's overcoming evil, like, and he just sticks out so much. The lightning bolt from the sword, like everything about this card is amazing. It's just a Hercules card though. At the end of the day, I love Hercules, but like it's not a Mickey Mouse, it's not an Elsa, it's not a Stitch, it's not a Simba, but I do think it's an amazing card. At number 2, we have Cinderella. Personally, this might be the best Cinderella we have in Disney Lorcana so far. I know, I want to say it's Rise of the Floodborn. That Cinderella is very popular. It's going for over a couple $100. I like this one a lot more. Personally, I love blues, so I have that bias of this is blue versus that one's yellow. or like kind of gold background, but I think this is really cool. And this is like when they're transforming into Cinderella, it's a pretty pivotal point in the movie. I think the artwork is amazing. And I think this is going to be one of those cards that when you get it in person, it's going to look that much more better than what the image, like the stock image shows. And at number one, I love Mickey Mouse. I love Goofy. I love Donald. If you can get the three of them together in a card, like that's icing on the cake. But Spooky Sight, you got that flaming pumpkin that just looks so good. And again, it fits the Halloween Whispers in the Well sort of theme. I absolutely love every aspect of this card. It's an action card. I don't know how playable this is going to be or anything like that, or if it's going to be expensive because it's an action card. But anytime you get Mickey and Friends in there, that's usually an instant top five for me. And I really think this is the best artwork of the set. Looking at the two iconics, we only have two to choose from. Hades just had an Enchanted. It's kind of weird that he's going to get an iconic. I want to say Ariel just had an Enchanted too, and now she's getting an iconic. Like, that's a little weird for me, but again, maybe it makes a lot more sense when you play the game. I don't know, but I think the Ariel looks a lot better. She has a lot more going on in the background that kind of like fits her theming, where Hades is just behind a rock. That's kind of it. It seems a little like boring to me, that Hades card, but I think these iconics are still going to be very expensive. I think they're going to be quite a chase, but I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the Mickey and Minnie. I would say these are going to be probably like 400 for the 80 for the Hades, 600 for the Ariel, something like that, just because the Mickey and Minnie, in my opinion, are still miles ahead of the Ariel and Hades. But there you go. Now you know every single enchanted iconic in the set. Let me know what your favorite artworks are. Let me know if you agree with me at all. But until next time, I'll see you all in the next video.